Hello, beautiful souls. This is Ona with Art of Awakening, and it's it's January 31st, 2020. We finally come to the end of this amazing year, and so it's time. I'm going to be doing my annual spirit animal reading, and this is the first time I've live streamed. So, if you can hear me, um, I'll do my best to check on comments and reply to those. But I'm sort of a not real. Hi, Jen. This is like new to me a little bit of the live streaming thing, so bear with me. Okay, so I am going to be using 4 animal decks, actually 3, sort of 3.5. And so let me introduce those. Those are my spirit animal awareness cards. I'm going to be using the Colette Baron Reed's deck, her beautiful spirit animal oracle, and as well as, let's see, Susie Green's animal wisdom deck. And I'm going to be using the Shaman Wisdom cards, which are some animals and just all sorts of things in nature. Also, I'm going to be pulling a few angel cards for the year, as well as a couple of surprise cards at the end. So before we start, I just have a couple housekeeping things to get out of the way. First of all, I just want to thank all of you. I just am so overwhelmed by just like we've reached 5,000 subscribers this year. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm grateful for all of you, but especially those who have ordered, hi, Happy New Year, Pauline, have ordered my cards and artwork and sessions. I'm so, so grateful. Let's see, the next thing is if you want more like around this kind of 2021 energies, I just posted a video a couple days ago about that. Also, the solstice video pertains to that, and I will be posting a few videos in the next couple weeks that really pertain to this 2021. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. If you hit the bell, you get those notifications. And then finally, let's see, a couple more things. I have a link below if you would like your own personal reading for 2021 that you can get 20% off. Just use that coupon code 2021. The link should be below. And also stay tuned for in 2021. I'm planning some kind of fun stuff, including a Patreon. I'm looking to get that up probably sometime in February. So just kind of stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's go to the reading. I'm going to kind of shift this so we can take a look at my kitchen table here. This is a classic kitchen table reading. And hopefully I can get the camera to work. Angle here. All right. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is we're going to sort of do a 4 directions reading, starting with the direction of east, and this is east in my home here. So let's just start with the month of January, which that's the month that we move into Aquarius. It's the Capricorn and into Aquarius. And so I'm also going to be considering just kind of the quarters of the year, right? And so this is going to be roughly spring, even though we start out in winter, but it's kind of what we start out as in, we'll be moving into spring. And okay, so January, this is going to be for the first week in January, electric eel spirit. All right, so it did kind of come up as a challenger. So look for, I'd say, can you see these cards? Hopefully I'll get them a little closer here. This is going to be a pretty big spread, so I want to make sure that there's room for all of them. So electric eel. Could be some interesting energies in the first part of January. I know right now it's feeling pretty chill to me after the whole solstice season. And I think the energies have been, even though it's been feeling chill, it's felt really intense. So those energies, that we've just been moving through, just expect them to kind of continue. I don't see that there's a whole lot, much more than that here in that particular for this card. But if you have anything that comes forward for you, post it in the chat, and I would love to hear your insights as well. I love, I think live stream is going to be fun because it can be interactive. All right, this is also coming up as a challenger, frog, and this is going to be, we can take these cards as in January in general, or week by week. So whatever you feel, you feel right. But this is also coming up as a challenger. Frog is, I always think of it as a super sensitive animal, because it's got that really thin skin. If you haven't watched my frog video, you can go check that out. But there's a lot of symbolism in frogs. So I'm just going to feel into kind of what this is. Adapt and survive by accepting the inevitable and seizing potential. And I think that's going to be a really good theme for 2021, because, you know, we all know what 2020 was. It feels like it's going to be an extension of that. And so recognize that anytime that there's a challenging situation or challenging times, always there's going to be lots of opportunity. Okay, so we can kind of think about looking at the challenges that you've got, and boom, you know, how can we transform those? Because frog's a big transformation animal into opportunity. Because I guarantee you there's a lot of opportunities out there right now. Okay, third one. This is going to be one of my cards here, and I did pre-shuffle these, so everything's kind of coming up as a challenger. Interesting. Okay, so things to watch out for with owl energy as a challenger. It's kind of flying blind, right? So it's going to be super important. There may be a lot of like blind reactions, blindly kind of, you know, kind of knee-jerk reaction kind of stuff. It's going to be really important to kind of keep your eyes open, stay aware, and also be like really attuned to where are the really positive aspects of owl that we can bring forward. One of them, in conjunction with this frog that's coming forward for me, is, you know, how owls, you know, digest and then they spit out the pellets. And so that's a real lesson, is to, you know, just take what works for you, leave the rest, and just kind of, you know, it's really easy to kind of like, you know, be fixated on what's not going right, or what's challenging. And owl can tell us to say, hey, you know, take the good stuff, take the cherries out of the bowl and spit the pits out. Right? We don't need those. William, Hannah, I would say electric eel means dealing with the electric energy we put out in the world. Yeah. From this lifetime or another, releasing and integrating the higher self. Beautiful. And that's something that I think I'm doing a lot, right? It's just like we're working through karma like crazy right now. Okay, and again coming up as a challenger, nettle in the last week of January here. This is nettle is a beautiful plant. We all know the stinging aspect. So I'm saying, like, I'm just seeing, like, this may be a really really intense kind of energy-wise month. And so what we're going to be wanting to look for is, how can we recognize that all these energies are the energies of change, and they're these energies that are happening, and it's kind of inevitable. But it's like, I think what it's really saying is, like, just monitor your own energies, really take care of yourself, because nettle is like this super nurturing, nourishing, right, plant. I mean, it's got these stingers, but when we treat it with respect and treat it carefully and we treat it well and prepare it correctly, then it's incredibly nourishing, right? And so we can take these energies that it may feel stinging, that may feel challenging, and by, like, really kind of preparing ourselves. And I'm saying, you know, ceremony may be really in order, and really keeping, like, kind of ritual, whether it's a spiritual ritual or, you know, your own day-to-day rituals of living. Those can come really handy in keeping grounded through times that are challenging. Okay, so I'm going to actually be turning all the challenging. Remember that this did come up challenging, but that we've always got the power within us to, you know, look for those opportunities, look for those you know, aspects that we can draw wisdom from, that we can draw nourishment from, and choose, you know, to approach life, to respond in those ways. Okay, so I'm going to put January up here, And now we're going, and by the way, if you are, this is going to be like kind of Capricorn moving into Aquarius. So if you're a Capricorn, or if you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, this particular January reading might actually, you know, if you were born in January too, these might be energies that you might be working with throughout the year. Okay, so moving into February, and this is going to be largely Aquarius and moving into Pisces. And this is at the early February, we actually move into what do you call it, Imbolc, which is the cross quarter of the year. And in some traditions, that's the actual beginning of kind of the spring season. So dragonfly. This is interesting because I've been feeling kind of myself that just personally, I've been feeling like the energies of December are going to sort of stick with us through January, but that there will be a transformative, you know, they'll start to shift in February. So Dragonfly has a real transformative kind of energy to it, and it's a lot of uh, action, but it's really able to control its action, right? So to me, Dragonfly is this kind of almost strategic animal. It can move, and it's so nimble, but it can hover in midair. It's just an amazing flyer. And so if you've got any projects that you've kind of got in mind, that might be a good time, you know, to start, or you might start to see action on things that you've started putting in place, you know, maybe this whole year, or you know, earlier, maybe in January. May start to see some things start to fly. Okay, hippopotamus, again, coming up as a challenger. Okay, so hippo. Friends stand close to shield you from life's adversity. So really pay attention to who is around you, right? Dragons and dragonflies, yeah. Well, yeah, you know, dragon actually, I don't think there's any dragon cards in everything that I'm doing here, but you can get that dragon energy through dragonfly as well. So be really aware of who you're choosing to work with. And again, you know, we're starting to see things loosen up and move in February. So really pay attention to, because the energies of the people around you are going to affect your energy and whatever projects or ambitions or goals or anything that you're working on. So just keep that in mind, and that you know, think of the energies of hippo. The hippo is kind of like, you can imagine if you got this guy protecting you, you're probably in pretty good shape. But if he's like, you know, this guy's kind of like eyeing you, and he's like, oh, don't come any closer, right? So you definitely want to be on his good side. So think about, you know, are there friends or acquaintances or family members or anything, you know, that are really on the same wavelength with you? You know, see if, you know, maybe there's some things that, ways that you can work together. Conversely, if there's any that you feel like, watch out for kind of the vampire mode. And this doesn't mean that people are meaning to, but sometimes energies can, you know, if put it this way, bright light attracts moths, and the brighter you are, you know, people want a part of that light, and it's not always conscious. And sometimes, and it can be even quite enlightened people, I've noticed that sometimes, you know, if you're resonating at a little bit higher, you know, resonance that they are, and you may not even be aware of it, but pay attention to if your energies are starting to feel drained. You know, then you might want to really consider who you're hanging out with. Okay, so the third week in February is coming up as Elephant Spirit, and I'm sort of getting very similar to the hippo, but elephant is this beautiful, majestic, regal animal, and in this one, again, it's coming up as a challenger. But look at, these are beautiful cards, by the way. This is the Colette Byrne Reed card, and I'm trying to get I had to move the lights around so it wouldn't wash me out, but now it's okay. So I don't know if you can see it, but this one, there we go. It's actually got wings on the ears, and I thought that was so cool. So again, it's like it says learn from the past, which I think is super important. So we're talking about our freedom here in February, okay? So whatever's going down in February, that's going to have a lot to do with your freedom to be who you're going to be. You know, you figuring out who you are as an individual and really running with that. Um, so, and there could be challenges coming up against that. So if you are coming into February and you're finding that you're banging up against all sorts of challenges, just recognize that this always happens when we're really getting close to, you know, our own identity and really stepping into our power. There's going to be challenges. Okay, that's part of the hero's journey. So accept it, embrace it. And again, I think friends, elephants, to me, a lot of times that's the kind of friendship thing. And see who you're hanging out with. Are there, bigger and better things that you could be doing with your life? This could be distractions too, right? If it's coming up as a challenge, are there bigger and better things that you could be doing that would really facilitate what you're doing? And last one in February, and this feels like a shift in energy to me in the last part of February. It's the Earth card. And it feels like there could be some grounding coming in at the end here. Either that, or if we look at it as a whole, we want to really pay attention to our grounding and making sure that we're really connecting. Another thing that's super important, both with the elephant and the Mother Earth, is the mother energy, and I think that's going to start really coming in big time in 2021. This is a big hit that I've been getting, is connecting with that mother and really beginning to love the mother energy and receive the love of the mother. This is Mother Earth. This is the divine mother, right? The mother within ourselves. And so that also fits with that nettle, that kind of nurturing. So mother yourself, right? And really, and remember that mothers, a good mother is going to be both nurturing, but she's also going to discipline, right? She's going to discipline with love. But that's loving guidance kind of discipline, right? And so that's a super, super important thing to do, especially if you're feeling any kind of rage, which elephant can bring forward. Okay, so I think with the third month here is, let's see, February. Okay, March, and that's going to be Pisces moving into Aries. And I'm just sort of drawn to drawing another one of these wisdom cards here. Hawk. Okay. So hawk energy again is like, I always think of focus, because hawk is a super, super focus and kind of animal, and it's also flies high. If it's going to look at the higher picture, and if you really resonate with hawk, then look into the type of hawks, because they hunt in different ways. Some of them hunt by staying still. Some of them hunt by flying. So, if you're getting a hit on a particular kind of hawk, you might want to look into it. My default hawk is the red tail, and they hunt by staying still. They just sit in a tree and perch. But if you're getting a different one, then by all means look that up, because that may tell you a little bit about, if you are moving into maybe stepping into your power. Is it sometimes if you've got more magnetic energy, you're going to be kind of waiting for things to come to you and then acting on it. And if you've got more electric energy, that's just more the masculine. It doesn't matter what gender your body is, right? It's whatever kind of energies, or maybe just the energies that you're working with. Then you're going to want to be a little bit more proactive in going out and seeking and finding. But by the way, this is for February. It's also going to be, those particular energies may be ones that you really connect with this whole year, or if you're an Aquarius. And same for here with March and Pisces. I happen to be a February Pisces, so. Okay, this is Octopus. This is the second week of March, or we can also look at the whole number, 4 of them as all of the same month. But octopus, again, coming up as a challenger. Okay, so what's going to be gripping at you? What's going to be gripping at you? Okay. Some energies can be extremely hard to deal with, and especially if you, um, if you have lots of things pulling at you, right? So consider again, what's pulling at you? Are there energies? Are there people in your life that are actually sucking your energy? Um, Positive side of octopus is they can be multitasking. They're so intelligent, right? They can be very strategic. So they're almost like the CEO boss, right? So if we can flip this octopus around and make it a positive, when when you are uh, decisive enough with the hawk, right? Decisive action to just be a little bit ruthless sometimes, so we have to and cut off what's actually sucking at you. Then you can step up and be this boss person, right? And really you're going to have a lot of power to kind of interact with things in your life and to kind of manipulate stuff. And maybe it could be a really creative month for you, but you've got to make sure that you're um, you know protecting your boundaries and making sure that your energy, that self-protection, that psychic protection is going to be so important, and maybe even protecting your space. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so this is the third one coming up for March, and this is the dove, and this feels like, oh, such a respite here from some of these other energies. Maybe a reminder to take a breather, a reminder to connect with the peace in your heart, right? Or maybe there may be a shift in the latter part of March, right? As we're starting to move into, starting to move into, I'm getting lost here. Let's see, January, February, March. Yeah, starting to move into Aries. Aries might actually open up something that's a little bit easier to deal with. A little gentler. Oh, great. Okay, and ending off that month of March with Dolphin Spirit. I love this. Okay, so this feels like there may be a real shift here in the middle of March, probably as we move into Aries. It may just kind of start to free up. And sometimes I think of this as sort of like, I've noticed a lot of times it's like the actual energies of the year before will move up until about the spring equinox. And because, like, definitely, we noticed that this past year for sure. But sometimes there's that huge shift into the actual energies of the year moving into that mid-March. So this is like, play, joy. I love Dolphin Spirit. The only thing is to, kind of remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. But this is also a very protective spirit. So, remember the protective nature of play, right? That we can kind of run on fun and play, and that spirit of play, it can really carry you through a lot. So think about this as the last card to come in, and both of these are water animals, the first card, last card for this whole quarter. So just kind of think of that as we can sort of flow through this first quarter of the year, and with grace and ease. And if we set that intention now, then why can't it? It sure can. I mean, we can choose at this point, choose what we want to experience. There's always going to be challenges coming up, but more and more we're being asked to choose. So I'm going to pull an angel card for the whole first quarter, and this is vibrational living. Oh, thank you, William. Put up the super chat. I don't think I'm qualified for super chat yet, but if you'd like to donate, I really, really appreciate that. I'm trying to think. Well, let's see. Oh, my PayPal is Green Girl Writes. It's GreengirlWrites, and you can always send friends and family there. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So high vibrational living would be like the angel card for the whole quarter. And I think this really goes along with that dolphin spirit. And I think what I was just saying about, just kind of choosing, we're going to have to really more and more just choose. We can just choose. We've got the power to do that. So that really entails a lot of awareness, but really, and also it's like the intention. So if we can get up in the morning and start the morning with, connecting with spirit, bring that ritual into your life, bring that high vibe in as much as you can, breathing as much as we can, just breathing in light. This could be an amazing, amazing first quarter. It can be an amazing year too. So we're just gonna leave this here. And I'm gonna, how am I gonna do this? Okay, I'm just gonna move this up, I guess. Whee! And I had to shift cards around quite a lot here. As we move through the year. But okay, so we're going to be moving into the next quarter now, which is going to be south. Eventually those cards are going to face the southern direction, which is that way, but I'm just going to put them down here so you can see them. And starting with, let's see, January, February, March, April. Okay, the month of April. Which is going to be Aries season. So if you're in Aries or if you're born in April, these cards may be especially relevant for you. A porcupine spirit, here we are back in the pricklies. Coming up as a challenger in the first part of April. Okay, think of it this way. If we're in that spirit of play, then we can look at this funny looking animal and just laugh and recognize that, yeah, we got to be respectful of it. Porcupine is a huge respect animal, right? So just really also, and I love the message on this, you may defend yourself honorably without hurting those close to you. And I think that's a huge message, I think, for everybody. So certainly it's a huge lesson I've been learning lately, is that I guess lately, the last 50 years of my life, is that when you're standing in your own power, it's you can stand in your own truth without hurting others. So but it's really just a matter of being very clear on what is your truth and what's not. What is it that you want and what is it that you don't, what you're really about. And so when you're standing in your truth, there's no need to be prickly. But we can also know that we can stick to our own agenda, and that even if this is, I guess, the quintessential thing where this comes up is like in a love relationship, where you finally realize that, maybe it's a relationship that's not suiting you and it's time to just call it quits. And then, being afraid of hurting the other person's feelings, or whether it's love or if it's a job, it's like, but they need me. If it's draining you, they will do without you, because no relationship is going to be win-lose, right? And to really be recognizing that. So porcupine, that's one of what I feel is like it's bringing to the table here in April. Calamus. Okay, so this is a beautiful plant totem. Okay, and this is one that I'm less familiar with, so I'm gonna just kind of look it up. It's I know it's a food plant, and let's see, here we go. It is number 25. I am Calamus. I'm the clear voice that speaks the truth. Okay, so what was I just saying, right? I'm the clear vision that sees reality. Use my powers to clear the issue, to discern the truth. Okay, and it's also about protection and so forth. And good fortune, abundance is in the truth. Use me to see that truth. Use me to speak that truth. Seek the root of the matter, which will help you to understand the foundation of the issue. All right, so April coming up, standing in your truth, right? This is all about truth. And there may be things coming up that challenge you. And sometimes it's like we have to go through those challenges. We have to get a few quills thrown in our face in order to recognize that, I'm really not in my truth. I know this from personal experience. It's like, those, and remember that those challenges are here to help us, right? They're really here to show us the boundaries of the path that we're on. Okay, third animal coming up for April is turtle. I love turtle, and it's this beautiful, protective. Okay, I think it's a really good match with this porcupine, right? Because they're both self-protective animals, right? One by going into the shell, one by just, just like kind of just the defenses up here. Um, but think about self-protection, your boundaries. Where are your boundaries, right? Drawing boundaries in April. And that's what's really needed in order to really blossom and bloom. Okay, and one more card for April. Okay, how about it's this one? Beautiful seahorse spirits. This one says watch and wait. We all know about pregnant males in the seahorses. I think that's probably the thing that the seahorse is most famous for. So watch and wait. That's kind of an interesting, and again, this is also an armored animal, right? With all those kind of armored scales on the seahorse. So a lot of just kind of protection, figuring out, where you can stand that's safe and protected in your own truth. And then you're going to have that, almost like it feels like, calling on that masculine spirit for protection, the masculine part of us, right? The divine masculine, whoops, and knowing that there's a lot of creative potential there, right? This is the, um, the life force within. So I think that's kind of beautiful. All right, coming into May. May is, what is May? Let's see, May is a lot of Taurus, isn't it? Or I'm getting my whatever, it's confusing to me sometimes. Let's see, April, yeah, Taurus coming into Taurus and into Gemini at the end of May. And let's see. Okay, I'm going to pull another one of these. All right, Badger Spirit. And Badger's this great animal. It's like fearless and bold, like the card says. And it's also just really digging in. And again, holding your ground, right? Holding your ground. Badgers are also cool because they've got multiple dens. So they are able to kind of, they dig in multiple places. So whatever that means, I don't know if that's bringing up opportunities, looking at multiple opportunities. It could be, looking at, you've got a lot of safe havens, maybe find your safe havens. Who's got your back? Who's got your back? Badger's a real fighter, okay? And again, I think this ties in, fighting for that truth. Okay, next card. An awareness card. This is Bear. Again, kind of a grounded animal. Coming up as a challenger. Let's see, Bear. Bears in the springtime. They're going to come up and they're going to be kind of cranky because they're not going to have eaten for a while. So watching the temper, right? Badger too. It can be kind of a crotchety old beast. So, you know, be with that power. These are really powerful animals, but also just be aware that, this is the opposite side of standing in your truth, that we also want to temper it with respect for others and with love and compassion, right? So when we do that, we can get into this beautiful, bear is a beautiful one. It's a real healing kind of animal, at the dream time, right? So if you're feeling, especially in May, like like things have been kind of challenging, you've had to be fighting something, you might want to go into the dream time for a while, okay, and help that bear to kind of calm down and get back into a happy state of mind. Okay, which one have I not drawn from? Okay, this one here. This is again mid-May. And Owl. This is interesting. Owl came up as a challenger earlier. It's coming up as a challenger here. It is maybe revisiting some of the energies of the of January here. Seek out deeper knowledge to see through deception. Again, I think there's this whole theme going in here. This may be a very, very beautiful time of year, this kind of early summer, spring, early summer of 2021, for really, really, really coming into our own truth, right? And there may be a lot of challenges associated with that, but I'm just getting a lot of that. Badger and Bear, fierce energy for sure. And, Owl, it's also the observer. So if we can stay in our observer mind, it can really help us through, right? Really help us through. And I think going back to that, take what suits you, leave the rest kind of, wisdom from Owl. And last one here from May, okay, this one also coming up as a challenger, squash, feminine. Okay, so squash is one that it's a wonderful nurturing plant, and it's got these beautiful yellow, okay, but it's, whoa, what that was is something going by here. This yellow color, you know, again, I think it can come down to the solar plexus. All the stuff like standing in your truth, make sure that you're really kind of supporting that solar plexus chakra if you're having challenges this way, doing your core work, doing any kind of breath work can help to support your solar plexus. That's the seat of will, and it can help you really to stand true to yourself. Think about a squash and how vigorous they are, how vigorously they grow. There's no doubt if you're a squash plant, you are not shy about taking up your space. Okay, so be feel, know that you're here for a reason, that you have a right to be here, not just a right, but we need you here. We need you to be blooming, right? The squash has this beautiful big bloom, and just a reminder that bloom, take up space. It's all right. Okay. Let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June. All right, June is the energies of Gemini and moving into Cancer. Okay, so if you are a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your charts, this is the month for you. Or if you're born in June, well, all right. So through music, you reclaim life's magic and grow strong in body and soul. Okay, so again, taking up the space, it seems like this year there's all these shifts between really intense and then kind of more flow and play. So just feel into those shifts if we can stay more in that flow state. Again, whale is going to, think about life's magic and diving deep. Okay, diving deep, and kind of similar to that bear, just going into the dream time, going into the flow. And whale also is a lot about communication and deep communication. I'm thinking like, yeah, Wim Hof breathing techniques, absolutely. You might want to think about that. The whole breath. Breath is key, right? Key to really coming into yourself. The breath is the spirit. Okay, as we breathe, that's literally spirit moving through us. So, working with that, singing is actually an incredible breath practice because it's using not just the breath, but the power of sound. It's gorgeous. Record keeper, yeah, work with, connect with spirit, use your journal maybe, or use the creative arts, because the Akashic records are so easily accessed through creativity, through the creative arts. That's why the arts have kind of a difficulty with funding sometimes in the public schools, because the powers that be don't always want to encourage that. But creative arts are super, super powerful, especially music, art, whatever. Rabbit coming up as the second animal in June. What am I getting about rabbit here? There's so much about rabbit. Rabbit's a really super fast animal, but it also is very aware, and it digests twice, right? It chews, eats the grass, then it swallows it, and then it, goes through again. It actually has a special dropping that it excretes and then eats that again. So there's several ways that this might show up for you. It might be that you're revisiting old lessons, so that you can just really pass that mastery test. It could be simply a time, in June to maybe take a vacation and just sort of do a little bit of revisiting of what's happening. You know, stop, chew a little bit on kind of, you know, whatever's happening, or it could be just a time to just sort of look around and look for the opportunities, look for the challenges, you know, do a SWOT analysis or something. You know, that's kind of what's coming forward for Rabbit. But keep in mind that all of these have multiple meanings, every one of these animals. So if you're seeing something different, absolutely don't discount that just because I'm not bringing it forward. All right, let's look at Shaman Wisdom card for the third week in June. This is the falling leaf moon, Scorpio season, and also this number 8. Okay, so number 8 is kind of, it's abundance, and there's this beautiful basket there, right? So we can be looking perhaps at a little bit of a windfall here, right? Falling leaf moon. That is one way that this could come forward for you, which would be really cool in June. Who wouldn't want a windfall? But there could have other meanings as well. You know, again, the windfall need not be, it could be material, it could be financial, it could be a spiritual awakening or epiphany. There's a lot of ways that abundance can come into our lives. It could be a new friendship, it could be a new relationship, it could be an old relationship rekindled. A lot of things that can happen. Okay, with that 8, there's, you know, just infinite possibilities. You know, getting, for some of you, it may be a real love relationship kind of thing happening. Okay, so here's this last one for June, and this is going to conclude quarter 2 for 2021. Dear Spirit, a lot of animals coming up with challenges right now. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch, okay? So whatever challenges come up here, and it may be challenges that the deer can help to bring wisdom for. Oh, Kavar, you saw 2 crows. That's awesome. You know, the deer, it is all about, you know, it's a lot about gentle, especially the doe. This one's a doe, and it's very nurturing animal. But remember that the doe will also take care of herself. She will, you know, put the fawn, hide it, and then go off and feed herself, and then come back and nurture. You know, so kind of remembering that. All right, so this is the second quarter of 2021. Looking at all these amazing kind of just, I'm feeling a lot about really finding our truth here in the second quarter. And at the end of that, you know, looking at possible abundance. Rabbit is also a very high fertility, high abundance kind of animal. So the June may be a very abundant month for a lot of us. And here is the angel card for the second quarter. And this correlates with the summer season. It is self-love. And so really throughout all this can be like really the hero's journey kind of thing. It could be high adventure in some ways spiritually, which I just my partner and I just finished, like, we watched the whole Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings trilogy in the last, you know, especially most of it in the last couple of days. And so it's like, whoa, it's really heavy stuff, but, you know, of course, great ending in the end. But really, even thinking about how Sam nurtured Frodo all through that. I mean, that was so important. All right, and let's see. Okay, I can't read everything here, but unbelievable. All the spirits have been coming to you. That's awesome. Okay, so here's self-love, and I'm going to move these cards as much as I can over to the south. Move them over this way. Whoops. I may not keep all the, whatever, it's good enough. All right, so then we are moving into the third quarter, starting with July. And that's going to be correlating, moving into the fall. So July is going to be largely Leo, moving to Virgo, Antelope Spirit, coming up as a challenger. This might be first week of July. Okay, so Antelope is a kind of full speed ahead kind of animal, right? A lot of power there, you know, and it's really about forward motion. If this is coming up as a challenger, just be aware that there are times where what's the old Amish saying? The hurrier I go, the behinder I get, right? So that could be coming up, or just watching out for, like, pace yourself. Okay, pace yourself. July. It's going to be a hot time of year, and there may be a lot going on, but sometimes just pacing yourself, you're going to get there faster. Ferret, beautiful warrior kind of creature, coming up as the second week in July. I'm getting just like, keeping the positive attitude. And the first thing I saw when I saw him was just warrior, right? Inner warrior, but just a really positive one. Okay, so keep in mind that a ferret is an underground creature, and that it's a fearlessness, right? So whatever fears are showing up here, sometimes it's that speed, and we realize it's actually fear that's driving us to do stupid things, right? Where ferret can actually stop, ground, look down, look deep, okay, root out those fears, and then we can go forward from there. Third week of July. This is kind of fun because some of these are really different animals that were coming up this past year. Okay, so this is the energy of South coming forward. Okay, and that's kind of mirrored in, let's see, July. Energy of South, the sun, right? And this is going to be shortly after the summer solstice. It is the really bright time of year, but we're starting to slip into the darkness. So, what am I getting? Masculine, summer, adolescence, and water. If anybody gets a hit on this, let me know. But what I'm getting is really the sun, right? Solar energy, and really soaking in the light, fire, absolutely. Even though the card says water, but I'm getting more sun, fire as well. And the four directions too. It's like, where's that inner fire? And really connecting to that, and making sure that we're in the middle. Like, there's going to be so much pulling at us this year, I think, and there always is. But the more we can stay balanced in the center, remember that all energies have polarities, and that there's going to be, fire, water, north, south, earth, air, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, all these energies. And the more that we can stay, like, kind of the positive mind, negative mind is what I'm saying, because they can both be protective and helpful, and they can also both, kind of take us astray. So the more we can really center into the 0 point, meditation can really help. These are really kind of intense animals. Sun is intense too, but I'm really centering on the center point here. So bringing back again, meditation, incredible tool for staying centered, staying balanced, even when things heat up. Alrighty, and one more here for July. Let's see. Wolf. Okay, somehow I knew Wolf was going to show up because he wanted to show up for the thumbnail of this video. Okay, so he also kind of came up as a challenger. Again, I think, this could be a challenging year. Could be a challenging year. Okay, I prefer sometimes to flip these over. Wolf as a challenger is going to be kind of, oh geez, ruthlessness. We all know that, ganging up, whatever. But here, listen to your inner wisdom, though. Let's look at the positive aspect of Wolf. He's a pathfinder. He's a guide, right? He's and he knows his place, right? So the negative aspect of Wolf usually it's going to come forward as, if you don't know your place, or if you're, or if something's out of place, the Wolf are probably going to take it down. But knowing your place, Wolf is a great teacher for that, and also pathfinder. So really listening to your intuition, listen to your inner wisdom, enjoy the gift of freedom. Okay. Yeah, because that's what all this work is for, is to set ourselves free. And once we set ourselves free, we're doing the work we're here for. And that's going to compound itself, right? As you free yourself, then you are just going to be setting everybody else free. And to go down another card from this deck. Taurus, when changes are made for the sake of change itself, resist. What else am I getting from Taurus? Again, this came up as a challenger. I'm getting dry spell, maybe. This is this is sort of, I know it's in a lush green pasture, but it almost feels like desert tortoise is coming forward for me. So it might be a good time to pull your head back in. Okay, this is the beginning of what, August? Pulling the head back in, just take a little breather. These are going to be the hot days of summer. It's going to be around the Lion's Gate coming forward just before that. So maybe time to just pace yourself again. Pace yourself. Is that right? July, August. Yeah. Might be a good time to pace yourself. This is a marathon, not a sprint. White Raven. This is a magical card. Sorry, I see this backwards on my screen. So White Raven. Okay, Raven. I love this card. And this is going to be right at the week of the Lion's Gate here. So it's beautiful it's coming up here. Trust in the magic. 6-6. Okay, 6. Those repeated sixes have a bad rap, but that's really, it's about family. It's about, those connections. And I think, again, that mother energy can really pull us through these times here. Okay, so I haven't really tuned into the energies of this coming Lion's Gate yet, but it feels like it could be more kind of mother energy coming forward. Also, just very, very magical and pure kind of energies there. But also, it can be kind of, Raven can be a trickster too. So it may be just saying lighten up a little bit. Sometimes, the most nurturing thing we can do is to go out and have fun, play a little bit. Ravens love to play. Blue whale, whale coming up again. Okay, here in the latter part of August. And this is going to be moving into the Virgo season, just starting to almost. But blue whale coming up. Oh, again, it feels like August might be a good time to just kind of chill, listen for guidance, kind of pull back a little bit from huge amounts of expending energy and just, again, go with the flow, right? With that blue whale, also, it might be pulling up some of the energies from earlier in the year. Speaking your truth, too. Blue whale, especially that blue, the throat chakra, the blue ray. If any of you are, work with that blue ray energy, could be coming forward strong, especially right after the Lion's Gate. Okay, so next one, last one in August. Long night moon corresponds with Capricorn, and this is, it's got cougar on it. Again, it came as a challenger. Cougar is, of course, one of the big cats. I'm almost like, I'm just looking at this cougar, and the word that's coming forward is vision quest. So almost like, it might be a good time to go out into the wild a little bit and see what nature will tell you. Capricorn is also a very practical energy there. Even though we're in the end of August, it's got this Capricorn vibe to it. So consider maybe some planning, right? Maybe some looking at your finances and getting things in order. Could be sort of getting in order for moving further into the fall. Good time for that. Okay, and then the last month in this third quarter is going to be September. And let's pull an awareness card. What's this one? Frog again. Again, coming up as a challenger. Again, it feels like we may be revisiting some of those energies from January here in this latter part of the summer. But what is Frog going to say here? This being in the summer, remember that frog, even though it's delicate, it's also very, it, I'm thinking of it diving down for protection, diving down into the water. Whoops, hope you can see that. Diving down into the water, right? Because they do that. If we've got a lot of frogs nearby, a lot of puddles in the summer, and you hear them plop, 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 plop when you go down the trail. Um, they seek comfort, they seek protection in the water. Water, that's your intuition, right? That's your dream time again. I think dream time is coming forward a lot throughout this year. I mean, and then that's always true, like, but I think even more. Um, I was about to scare us about this body in 6-6. Oh, the body, yeah. 6-6 meaning universally. Yeah, absolutely, William. Um, Beautiful. I love that. So I'm getting that, the frog looks to the water for protection. It's also, even in the winter, it'll get it through the winter, burrowing underneath, and even just going into the deep freeze, and it comes back up resurrected, right? Um, so really, really cultivating the your spirit connection here in the fall. Um, a good time of year to do that anyway, but it's coming forward strongly. And Raven coming forward again here in September. Okay, this is the regular Raven. And the message here on the card, listen to your intuition to receive a message from the world of spirit. Um, this year could be very beautiful. This year can be very beautiful. And, we know there's going to be challenges, but I think this year can see a really, really deepening connection with spirit. If this is, if you are on your path, um, just make sure to leave that time and and also to, I'm getting, just sort of allow yourself to play with it, because it's really easy to get caught up in the rituals and and I got to do this then, and I got to do, and all the little nitpicky whatever. And it's, yes, it's important to be aware of what we're doing, right? But it's also, again, it comes back to that finding the balance, because it's easy to get so into our little spiritual routines that we forget that really, we're here to play, we're here to have fun, we're here for joy. Raven can really teach us that. They are very playful. They can be mischievous, right? But it can happen in a good way. This actually did not come up as a challenge. It came up as an ally. So I think this could be a really magical month of September. And this one is Oak Tree, coming up for the third week of September, from Tiny Acorns. And I love this number 41. This is kind of like an angel number, and this number, I don't know, I keep seeing ones and fours for years now. But from Tiny Acorns, remember that, you know, strong, we're building a beautiful, strong, new earth. It's going to be extremely abundant, like oak, right? It's this incredibly strong, powerful tree of life. And that's what we're building. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're here for. We've been planting these seeds for a long, long time. We're starting to see them sprout. But, and, and, things that are worth building they do take time. So just remember that if things seem to be going slow, it's all right, because we're digging deep roots here, building this new earth. And that there is, the energetic pattern of oak is incredibly strong. We're building something amazing. So keep that in the top of your mind. This is this is huge work that we're all doing. So thank you all for your part in it. This is huge work. We're doing it together. And turtle spirit coming forward again. Again, that sea turtle. Turtle coming up a lot. It's like the third time, isn't it? So slow and steady, which is what I was saying. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Slow and steady wins the race. And so again, getting in that flow, slow and steady, getting in that flow. It seems to be a repeated pattern, especially for this whole third quarter. Is, you know what? This is a marathon, not a sprint. And so finally, this card is just volunteering itself. This is past life experience coming up as the guiding angel card for the third quarter of 2021. I love these beautiful spirals. Past life experience. All right, again, it's diving deep into, into the intuition. We are all old souls here. We are all old souls. We've got a lot of experience behind us in this, these lifetimes, and our you know what to do. Deep inside, you are so guided, you are so protected, and you've got all this experience behind you. For a lot of us, this is master lifetime. We're here right now. When we came in right now for this reason, we're building something amazing, and we've got that to draw on. Yes, new earth, blue flame. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm going to move all this stuff over to the back of the table here, because this is actually for the direction of west, that quarter. And who here has a word for 2020 or 2021? That is, I choose a word every year, just a sort of a focus word. I will tell you my word in just a minute, but I'd love to hear what your words are if you have chosen one, because that's going to be my focus for the year, is working on my word. The butterflies, monarch butterflies. Yeah. So if you have a focus word for 2021, put it down. Mine is actually joy. All right, so we are moving into the last quarter of 2021, and this is going to be, let's see, I guess that leaves October. I'm moving into Scorpio season, right? Dog spirit. Okay, yeah. Oh, Rita, joy, awesome. Let's see that right, Master, right when 9 is here, number of completion. Yeah, expansion, beautiful. I have focus, expansion, joy, awesome. Rita, you and I are on the same page. All right, dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. And that is so true. It's like be in your bliss, follow your bliss, right? That, I mean, it's such a kind of like a cliche anymore, but it is so true. That's how we find our truth, right? Right? Be loyal to what you love. And that's where you're going to bring in the joy. That's where you're going to bring the magic, right? Magical. That's where the expansion happens, right? When we really focus on the love. Joy is your North Star. Beautiful. Okay, so dog spirit, loyal to what you love. And it's breaking my heart because I just lost my Jasmine this week. So spider spirit coming up as the second card, coming up as an ally, as the second card in October. And this is a beautiful, beautiful, this one, travel will open up more new possibilities. Okay, I'm not really getting that so much, but I'm getting spider is this beautiful master weaver, master creator, right? And when we combine this, putting your North Star, right? What's bringing you joy? What do you love? Make that your North Star, and then create around that, right? This can be a super, super creative month, and I think I'm almost getting like collectively, I'm feeling, oh my God, this is feeling, whoa, I'm getting chills. Collectively, I'm feeling like a lot of the stuff, this first half through to, I guess 3/4 of 2021, really still moving through a lot of this kind of, challenging whatever. But it feels like this last quarter of 2021, we're going to collectively start getting really in our stride as light workers. Weaver of dreams, absolutely. And that's what we are as light workers, as star seeds. We're weavers of dreams, and we weave those dreams into reality, right? We weave those dreams into reality. So again, focusing on what you love, it's going to bring that beauty into the weaving. We're here to bring beauty back to earth, right? I mean, it's already here, but humanity's forgotten that. But we're here to, just take this beautiful earth and really help bring it more beautiful. Again, these cards are all starting to come up as allies. Parrot, let sunshine revitalize your soul. Color transform your world. Parrots are so intelligent, and uh, they're also they're very communicative, right? So whatever you're creating, you know, it's a talk about it, share it, right? Get it out there, right? Music, yes, singing, you know, bringing the joy into to the world, and broadcasting that, right? So if you whatever it is that you want to do, right? Whatever it is that's calling you, you know, we're all healers. So I know a lot of us may be actual healers, but whatever it is that you're doing, that you're really called to do, you're going to be doing healing work through that. Whether it's, you know, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're doing healing work through being a mother. Whether you are an electrician, right? You're doing healing work. If you're a light worker, you're there for a reason and you're sending energy through all those houses. That's amazing, right? So it doesn't matter what kind of, you know, what you're working with here in terms of the actual, you know, physical stuff that you're doing on the earth. It's you're bringing healing stuff through that. Sloth, that one's coming up kind of upside down. So this is not the time to hold back, you know, or to be, you know, not be in action. You can be in action and be calm about it, right? But this is not the time to be, you know, false modesty or, you know, slothfulness, right? You know, just look at the joy, bring the joy and love into it, and procrastination may start to melt away if you are really focused on what you love. That tends to melt the procrastination away if there's those issues coming up. Okay, so November. All right. Okay. All right, awesome. Kangaroo. Whoa. All right, kangaroo coming up in the first part of November. Let's see, what is that? November is, I guess that is Scorpio. Oh, I forgot Libra, sorry. I always seem to forget Libra. So this is the Libra month, which is beautiful. It really does feel like Libra energy there. The love, the, you know, connection, all that. Here we're moving more into the Scorpio. Kangaroo, as events take on their own momentum, you take a true leap forward. I think I'm going to take that right there, what's on the card, because it feels like coming into this, it's going to really come forward. Big time there. Like I said, it feels like we're really building something and it's going to start to fall into place. It's a mother kangaroo nurturing that little Joey in her pouch, and like, you know, the little new earth right there, and we're going to start bounding forward, carrying that forward. Awesome. Okay. Well, you know what, Kabar, tad bit lazy. It feel like I have too. It's like this past couple of weeks, it's like, and I think that's good. We're right in the middle of this, you know, the depths of winter, and we've just gone through this amazing transition, you know, with we've really birthed the new earth, you know, and so it's like right after a birth, you're going to be resting. It's all right. Okay, spider again, mirroring this second one. Okay, so we're still, oh my gosh, I just find this as like, okay, it's that same energy there. You know, that beautiful creativity, you know, just weaving, dream weavers. I'm just loving this reading. All right, that card here, let's pull one of these. Koi fish, there is always enough. I love that. Okay, so koi fish, again, beauty. Okay, they're bred for beauty. If you think of the ancestor of koi is a big old carp, which isn't the most, you know, it's not necessarily the prettiest animal, but koi fish are just amazing. And so this beauty, this magic that we're building in here, you know, it just keeps going and going. Again, it's in the fish, it's the intuition, it's this abundance too, right? Abundance, and it's a gold koi, right? Just a lot of beauty happening here. I think this is really, you know, I am doing this reading, I think, as for the light workers collective, the collective of light workers on this planet. So you know, if you're experiencing something other than that, we all have our personal things, right? Um, and you know, we're not always going to be completely in sync with all of it. So don't worry if you're coming up with challenges. Here's Raven coming up again. This time is a little bit of a challenger, and maybe I was just talking about challenges and that pulled up. So let's think about just focusing on the magic, because the magic will come in at the right time in the right place. Sometimes it appears to be a challenge, but embrace those challenges. Embrace the challenges. They're such an important part of the journey. Give thanks for them, right, as they come in. And so where can we find the lessons? Where can we find the magic in, whatever seems to be opposing us? Remember, it's all here. It really is all here for our good. And even the things that are, whoo, there's things in life that nobody can find good in, really. But ultimately, there's a reason for everything. And I really believe that all those things, those really things that are super challenging, sometimes that dark energy just, it catalyzes. It's a catalyst. And it can help to really just, boom, we're going to see an explosion of light, right? We're just seeing the very initial bits of it now, but it's going to really be exploding. This is, okay, so that was for November, and here's for the last month of the year. This is for the first week of December 2021. Beaver, investing in home comforts, provide security, family togetherness. Beaver is also like busy builder, right? And I think this whole last quarter is really about actually coming down physically, materially, actually building this new earth, building. We're bringing it to life now, and I think this is the year, maybe towards the end of this coming year, but we're really going to start to see the new infrastructures coming up, right? New ways of being on Earth, or resurrecting old ways that are, have been forgotten and need to be resurrected. But I think a lot of times it's going to be new ways. Implementing some of this technology that we have that really could be used for human good, starting to actually do that, right? There may be a lot of changes and a lot of infrastructure structure. Okay, so this is mosquito, second week, coming up as a challenger. Petty annoyances. Okay, look at, though, I mean, the challenge of a mosquito, sweat. It's easy, right? Splat. They are not big, dangerous things. So there may be things that are presented as big, dangerous things that really are no more than an annoyance, right? So keep that in mind, because there's a lot of twisting and illusion that is trying to oppose all this that we're doing here collectively. And this is for the third week. This is for, okay, Buffalo Spirit. Okay, coming up as a challenger. How would a buffalo challenge, right? A buffalo stands its ground, right? So may have to push through stuff, right? It's all right. The positive part of the buffalo is ceremony, is gratitude, is abundance, right? So keeping a grateful heart. And I think ceremony, especially around next solstice, going to be huge, huge, right? So maybe even start throughout the year, keeping that intuition going. It's like, what are you called to do? Because I think the more we can come together and start holding ceremony as a as a whole global community, or local community, whatever, of even if it's just you, right? But holding those ceremonies, if you're not super familiar, and I'm not, like, I'm learning too. It's like I'm not a huge expert on like all the the whatever you call it, excuse me, like the Earth holidays, right? But that might be something to start really delving into, and working with the spirits of the Earth, working with, celebrating the Earth, and using ceremony, and inviting the Earth spirits to work with us, Buffalo, I really feel like it's got a very huge connection with Mother Earth. And, you know, again, if it came up as a challenge, I'm almost getting, it's like we're going to really need to call on that Buffalo spirit for aid, for assistance. And last, oh my God, this is the last card of the year. It's butterfly, and we all know what that means, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful ending, you know, kind of transformational ending. It's a promise for this year that whatever we see, you know, happening in 2021, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, right? We are rising above. We're building something amazingly magical, new, beautiful, and it's really bringing us a whole level above to spirit. Okay, so let's pull a, again, this one's volunteering, angel card for the last quarter of the year. Open your psychic senses. I think that's really appropriate for here because, you know, I think I'm sort of feeling like those energies of the Lionsgate of this coming year is really going to open a portal that's going to, we had this year. That Lionsgate opened this huge portal for like expansion of like spirit coming in, and it really helped to pave the way for this incredible transformation over the solstice, you know, this move into this new earth, this age of Aquarius. But I think we're going to see another in the next Lionsgate. It's going to open that portal and allow for, towards the end of next year, a big crown opening, right? A big opening, a third eye, crown, those upper chakras going to be opening even more, right, at the end of this year. So to really bring those energies down to earth in a way that's super tangible this coming year. All right, so I'm going to put these over here in the north. I'll move these decks over. And then I've got a few surprise cards, and I'm sort of playing it by intuition, but I know we've got the author of this deck here. It is The Doors of Love and Light. So hold on, let me move these here. Rita Morgan, I'm going to use one of her cards, open a portal for the year. That may be all it's needed, really, is opening that portal of love and light. And where's that last card? Okay, moving these down. We're going to open a portal of love and light for the very center. This is the 0 point. This is the balance point of the year. And let me find that deck. I had it somewhere. Right. Okay, so here it is. Right, so I didn't know you'd be here, but if you're still here, Rita, you're welcome to put a link to your deck in the chat, because it is I just love this deck. It's beautiful. Put the PayPal in the video description. Yeah, I can do that. I'll have to do that after this, though, because I'll have to get to my desktop to do that. Okay, so here we go. And we'll put a link to this deck in there, too. I just love this deck. All right, so this is, okay, so this is number 48. And I love this deck because it's like you really have to use your intuition to feel into it. And I'm getting, I don't know what kind of flower this is. It looks like this beautiful, it's almost like a spider web, but it looks like a flower. And then I'll open her guidebook too and see what she says. But I'm just going to kind of feel into this. And I would love if you, am I freezing here? I think I froze. What's going on? Oops. Oh, okay. Did I freeze? I think I don't know where I stopped, but okay. So anyway, this one is just speaking to me of, it's mirroring that spider web. Okay, so it's like the connections. It's just really feeling into staying in that center. But let me just see what she's saying about this. 24 is a really magical number for me, and 48 also. So I'm feeling happy about that. Okay. Oh, creating a new normal. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's the that's the energy of the year. It's creating a new normal. That is exactly what we've been talking about, right? She says we no longer have a need to create painful experiences as normal. The universe invites you to create a new normal with joy and ease. What do you desire as your new normal? What can you bring that? Where can you bring that new normal into your current life? You're invited to take a moment to yourself to help your body create a new normal. Okay, so it's talking also about the body. This is, oh my God, I cannot believe this card came up, but I can because it's exactly the perfect card. We are creating a new normal. We are creating a new earth. We are physically beginning this process of creating that new earth, and it starts with our own bodies, right? You know, keeping those energies high vibration. This card reminds your body how to connect with earth energy. We're connecting with the mother, right? It shows up when you feel like giving up because life's too hard. When you're in that transition between being in pain and creating health, and when you feel a healing crisis coming on, okay? This is a healing crisis this whole past year. We are now living in a world where we can make the changes we desire with greater ease. So if Rita, if you are on here, blessings to you. This is like the perfect, like I love this deck. That's why I love this deck so much. This is exactly the energies of this year, and go to it, everybody. You guys are like Kabar says, blessings to all your so love, stay strong warriors. Catch you all y'all on the flip side, home slice. Yeah, absolutely. Just amazing, amazing. I love you guys all so much. I'm going to move this up here again, talk to you a little bit, just say thank you, thank you, thank you, and trying to work with this. Thank you, thank you. Goodbye. And if you have any questions, just type in the chat. I'll try to answer that later.